Hey, what's going on, Quest 2 community? What's happening today? So I hope we are live, if I did everything correctly. Um, Thought we'd come in and do another little chat. So hopefully everything is working. Um, so yeah, I thought we'd come in and do another chat. I know it's only been a few days since we did the last one, but I thought it would be cool if we came on again. And let's see, just give me a second to get this posted up in the group. Looks like we got one viewer so far. That's good. We're gonna pin this to the top. All right, we are there. So yeah, we got some viewers, man. So just want to say, hey everybody, how's it going? So yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit more group stuff tonight. We got some cool stuff to talk about. We got a few upcoming things we want to talk about and tell everybody about. And going to bring on our moderator Nick Quinn to talk to us tonight as well. To talk about some different stuff. We're going to talk about some group stuff, and then we're going to talk about the stuff we got going on right now, which is a couple of the giveaways we got going on, and we're going to talk about some of the stuff we got coming up in the next couple of weeks, which is we got some real exciting stuff coming. So it's going to be cool. So I'm just waiting for Nick Quinn to try and get in here. He says he's trying to join. So this is going to be our first time bringing somebody in live with me. So we're just trying to figure that out. This is kind of like a test one to see how that's going to work. And he's saying there's no live button to jump in. So Justin Kelly, hey, how you doing? Thanks for coming by and saying hi. How's everything going? This is your first time. I don't think you stopped by on the last stream, so I'm glad you came by. Thanks. Appreciate it. We got like 9 viewers now. That's pretty good. Hey, Daniel, how you doing, man? Hey, thanks for coming by. Thanks for taking a stop in. I know you're at a party, man, so sorry to bother you, but glad you stopped in to say hi. Daniel, I don't know if everybody knows, but Daniel is involved with VR Trend magazine. It's a great VR magazine that does some amazing stuff in the VR world, and it really spotlights the things that we love about VR. So they do a great job, and we're gonna be announcing something tonight that's gonna be going in the group tomorrow um, for with Daniel and VR Trends. So that's gonna be exciting. We'll announce that a little bit later. Hey Ben Wiley, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming by. I miss you too, pal. Um, Ben Wiley was an old Call of Duty Warzone buddy. Been a long time, man. How you doing? So we got some issues with bringing Nick in. For some reason, I can't get him into the live video. There usually is a live button for him to click to request to join me live, and apparently there's no live button. So I don't know why. Hey, Benny. Benny Lee is here. How you doing, Benny? I'm doing well, man. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. So Justin Kelly says everything is good. This is their first time here, and they've just been in the group for a couple of weeks. I've had my Oculus Quest 2 for several months, but I've learned more about it in those weeks than I did on my own. Thanks for that. That's amazing. I love hearing those things. That's really great. Thank you so much for saying that, and that kind of goes exactly with what we set out to do with this group. Was to make a place where people could come and hang out and learn about VR and ask questions and figure out how, to work these things, and and what to buy and what games to buy, and what accessories to buy. And it's a daunting, right? I mean, there's so much stuff out there. So any help that we can give to do that, and and be a place where people feel comfortable asking questions, that's what we're all about. So thank you, Justin, for saying that, man. It means a lot to me. It really does. Diane Jackson, thanks for coming by. How you doing? Good to see you. And she said, thanks for all you do. You're very, very welcome, and thank you for being in the group. And I appreciate you for being here. Um, yeah, Nick's in the chat. He's saying he wish he could join, but it won't let him bring him live. And usually there's a live button for him to click, and apparently there's no live button tonight. I don't know why. Something we'll have to work on. This was going to be our test. I assumed I at least would be able to get him in here a little bit, but apparently our test has failed drastically. So I might be on my own, but we got cool stuff to talk about, so we'll make it worth it. See, we got like 11 people now. It's awesome to see. I appreciate everybody hanging out. So yeah, so I want to talk a little state of the group, just what's been going on this week. I'm not sure. I'm sure everybody probably knows, but just in case you don't, we have a huge giveaway and promotion going on right now. Which I can take these off now since Nick's not coming, because that's the only way I would be able to hear Nick. So, but we have a big promotion going on with Rezel and the game Player 22, the developer Rezel, and the game Player 22, the sports training game that's going to be coming out, and we're giving away a Quest 2 for the group. 128 gigabyte Quest 2, the new one that comes out when they finally do release it. We will be giving one of those away. We also have 5 BOBOVR head straps, the Halo head straps to give away, and 10 copies of the game. And that's going on right now. It's actually going to end on Tuesday. So everybody get in there and just comment. Just go in there in the comments and comment. Q2C for Quest 2 community, and just give us a brief reason why you're here in the group, and what you like about it, and and we'll get you into the contest to win. It's doing really well so far. We've got a ton of comments. There's a lot of great comments. There's so many good people in this group, and I'm so humbled and appreciative of when people tell me what they think we're doing right, and not that I think we're doing everything right. We don't. You know what I mean? There's things that we need to improve on, and which we're going to work on as well. So, I know it's not all sunshine and roses, but we're working on it. It's a work in progress, and we're going to make it better. As we go. So yeah, Rezel is the big one going on right now, but that's not the only thing. We got some other stuff going on too. We did a review and giveaway for the game Stride this week, done by our other moderator, Key Bennett. He's doing Stride. It's a game from Joyway. It's like a parkour game but you have a gun also when you're trying to take out enemies on rooftops, and you're really using your whole body in VR to move yourself through the environment. Super fast game. I mean, it really gets you moving in VR. If you want to work out in VR, this game will give you a workout for sure. And we give away. We had some keys to give away for that with his review. So if you want to get a chance to win one of those keys, definitely go get in there with that one. We also had I did a review and a video for Disc Ninja with a few keys to give away. Disc Ninja is a frisbee golf game. Yeah, Nick says Stride is like Mirror's Edge in VR. Yeah, so if you're a little bit older gamer and you remember Mirror's Edge, the old console game, it's Mirror's Edge in VR. The only thing it does not have right now is the campaign, which is coming. Joyway is working on it, so they don't have the campaign right now that a Mirror's Edge has, but it's got many you know, it's got an endless mode. It's got a time mode. It's got a like an open like world kind of mode. It's gonna have a chase mode like the game Gorilla Tag, where you're gonna be chasing each other. So like a multiplayer type mode. I mean, it's loaded with stuff. The movement, the visuals, even the gunplay is really cool in that game. You know, you keep one pistol in your hand, and you shoot with it. It's pretty amazing. Um, so yeah, going back to Disc Ninja though, Disc Ninja is it's like a frisbee golf game. So if you can think about Walkabout mini golf, if you've ever played that game, um, pretty amazing game. But this is with you know, frisbees, and it's kind of set in the in like an Asian Japan type setting and environment. Very cool. The visuals I'm super impressed with. I didn't think the visuals were going to be this good, and the physics and the gameplay are just as good. And that's by Immersion Games, and that's $19.99 if you want to buy it. The Stride game is $14.99. I forgot to mention that. Um, so Diane Jackson says she likes Disc Ninja. That's awesome, Diane. Did you buy it on release? So you must have got it pretty much right away because it just released a few days ago. So that's awesome to hear. Diane? Have you tried the multiplayer in that? Because me and Nick Quinn jumped into the multiplayer right before we got on here just to check it out, and worked out pretty good. I mean, there's a couple hiccups here and there, but for the most part, it worked pretty good. Just want to scroll up and see some comments. Diane said earlier that this community has made her feel so much more at ease with VR. That's awesome. That's great to hear. Really love to hear these things. Darren Bedwell, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming by. Thanks for chatting with us. He says, I just came across this, didn't know you did live. I'm also new to the community, which is fantastic. To only have had my Oculus Quest 2 for a few months, learning all the time. VR magazine, not sure there's one in the UK. Yeah, there isn't one in the UK, but you can definitely get VR Trend magazine in the UK. Because I know that Gamertag VR, the content creator, promoted them, and he has it. So I know they can do it. I don't know if Daniel's probably not in the chat anymore, but if he still is, and he can just confirm that, you know, we can get copies to the UK. But it's an amazing magazine, Darren. And if you can think of, like, I'm not sure how old you are, but if you remember the Game Informer magazine, the way that magazine was set up is very, very similar to what they've done with VR Trend. It looks amazing. The wide covers, it's not just a small magazine. The stock that they use, the paper stock, is super high quality. The whole magazine it really is, the magazine's like an art form. It's like a piece of artwork. They usually do a pull-out every month, like an old, like a poster, like a game poster. And this past past issue was Demio on the cover, and then they had a Demio pull-out poster. That's super amazing, and I'm going to show you guys. I got it right here. I've been a subscriber since the beginning. That's how much, you know, I was really into this and really loved it. So I'll show you guys. I don't know how it'll show on the magazine. There we go. Let me move my mic a little bit. So yeah, that's VR Trend magazine with Demio on the cover. You can see really wide. Again, real great paper stock. And then here's the pullout. Ooh, there we go. And the pullout is an amazing Demio poster. So cool. Looks great. Artwork is beautiful. And again, you can just feel the quality. But, you know, some amazing articles, stuff that you're not going to find everywhere. You know, this this magazine is for people, regular people, who have stories about VR, or, you know, have information about VR that they want to bring out. Daniel and his team help get their information out to us, and it's really amazing. But Darren, thanks for being here, man. I'm glad you I'm glad you're in the group. And when you said you didn't know I did live, I haven't done many lives. This is my number 2, and I think I did the other one on Tuesday or Wednesday. So this is a new thing, but we were going to do it pretty much every week now. Benny says he loved Mirror's Edge. It was an amazing game. Yeah, definitely. Hey, Beerbo is here. Beerbo Valdez, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming by. Thanks for being here last time too, man. He's talking about the Nintendo Power, the EGM, PC Gamer magazine, all that stuff. Dude, I had it all, man. I loved it. It was like going to the mailbox and getting that magazine was like, it was like Christmas morning when you got those magazines, because I remember they used to have game codes in those things where you could have cheat codes or you could have special Easter eggs that you could get out of the game. They would put those in the mag. It was amazing. So yeah, Nick is just reminding me that the Resol 22 promo, the Resol Player 22 promo has 5 BOBOVR head straps, the Halo head straps, and we also are doing a 10% discount. So if you can't win a BOBOVR head strap and you want a head strap, they do have a 10% discount for our community for this time period. And then we also have 10 game keys. Okay, so yeah, Nick reminded me also that it wasn't 10 game keys that they have offered up. They gave us 10 game keys, and then they saw how many people were getting into it and excited about it, and they threw us another 12 game keys. That's how great these people are, right? They just jumped out and were like, here, there's just so many people in there. We want a lot of people to win, so they gave us 12 more game keys. These guys are awesome. Oh yeah, remember Darren, the game discs? Yeah, I know I'm behind in chat, guys. I think am I? I think maybe I am. Maybe I'm caught up. But yeah, Darren. Yeah, remember the game discs? They used to put demo discs in there, right? So you could demo games and stuff that were coming out. I mean, I remember I used to have a collection of demo discs of games that I just couldn't afford, and you just keep the demo disc, and you'd have like 5 or 6 demo discs, 7 or 8 demo discs, and you just keep playing the demo over and over. Shah Azrael, thanks for coming by, man. How are you doing? He says, I want that mag. Absolutely. It looks so cool. And, I guess it's probably a good time to talk about how you're going to get that mag. So, I'm just going to look in the chat here. Sorry, guys. Dickel Salas Pineda, how are you doing? Thanks for coming by. You said you saw my name on giveaways, but this is the first time seeing him in person. Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. Hi, how you doing? I'm a little bit of an older gamer, but I've been a gamer all my life. So this is VR is a passion for me. So that's why I do this and I love this. But yeah, it's nice to see you guys. So yeah, talking about what we have dropping tomorrow. We have dropping tomorrow a way that you can, for free, get a 1-year subscription to VR Trend magazine. So we're gonna be doing like a week-long promo for VR Trend magazine starting tomorrow. And if you put your comment in the post, they have offered up a 1-year subscription to their magazine for 3 lucky people. So you guys got the inside info on that. That'll be dropping sometime tomorrow. And Daniel Nelmar, who is in our group, has been very kind to offer up those subscriptions. And then here's the exciting news as well. First time I've told anybody about this, but the Oculus Quest 2 community Facebook group is going to have a full page spotlight in their next issue, which is going to be the September issue, and it's their 1-year anniversary issue, so it's a special edition issue. And we're going to be spotlighted in that mag for we're going to have a whole page spotlight. So extremely exciting, and thank you to them for doing that. Shah, I wish you luck too. I wish everybody could win, but I definitely wish you luck. Darren, you're welcome. Darren says, "Thanks for the chance." Absolutely, and a lot of times, um, it's you guys are saying thanks to me or the mods, but really it's thanks to the developers and the companies and and people like Daniel with VR Trend Magazine, who are nice enough to offer up these things. Many of these developers or companies are with VR, it's young, so a lot of these companies are just starting out, or they're not real big companies for them. So for them to give away things like this, it's not easy, but they do it because they want to get their name, their game, their magazine, their product. They want to get it out to as many people as possible, and this is the best way to do it. And we've been lucky enough so far to be able to have a community where we can do this. We have a big enough community. We have enough people all in one place to show a mass amount of people, what we have to offer or what they have to offer. So this has not really been done much before, just because again VR is so young, and we haven't had these groups. The VR groups that have been out there for a few years are still all relatively small. We're really the only ones that have gotten a mass quantity of people. So, Nick Quinn, are you still out there, man? I'm so upset that we can't bring you in here. We had a whole bunch of plans to talk about stuff tonight, and I'm really bummed. I'm really bummed about that. We're gonna figure it out, guys. If we can't do it today, we will do it. We will do it next week with Nick, and we'll talk. We'll find a different issue to talk about, because I'm still going to talk about my top 5. And Nick, please stay in the chat, because I still want you to you can give your top 5 in the in the chat, and I'll read it off, because I still want to talk about it. So yeah, I'm bummed. I just can't figure this out. New for us. You know what I mean? I got myself on here last week, and I had to figure out how to do that, and I thought it was going to be just as easy as clicking a button, but technology never works that way, right? So let's see. We talked about what we got coming up tomorrow. Let's talk about what we got coming up in the next few weeks. So I'm sorry. Let me just read a couple of things here. Nick says, big shout out to the devs, marketing teams, and companies who support this group to bring great stuff to y'all, and much more coming up. He had to put the y'all in there. Nick's from Mississippi and works in New Orleans. Nolens. Sorry, Nick. So he's got the y'all. So yeah, but his statement couldn't be more true. Thank you to the devs. Thank you to the companies. Thank you to the marketing teams. We appreciate it, and I think we're going to continue to do these great things. I can't wait. We have so many things coming up, guys. I wish I could tell you them all right now. I just can't. I'm not allowed to. But we have big plans. This is just the start. We're going to make this an amazing group. We're at 100,000 now. But we've set our goals higher now. We're looking at 200,000 now. We want as many people in VR as we can, and we want to have a great place for them to go to find it. And I think that's going to be us. Let's see what else we're doing here. Diane Jackson says, you're doing great. Oh, thanks, Diane. I appreciate that. Shah says they are still fragile, and we are growing. I think you're talking about VR and the businesses, the new businesses. Yeah, 100%. As much as you think VR has been around for a while, this is relatively young compared to most console gaming or any other type of gaming. We are all still early adopters. This is the time to be in. So if you ever wanted to be on the ground floor of something special, you are all there. This is something special, and you're going to see some amazing stuff coming within the next couple of years. Look how far we've come already. So, Darren says we all need to work together to get VR where it needs to be. 100%. 100%. The more people in VR, the more that companies and developers will want to make games, and the more that the big companies and developers will want to make games. So if you want AAA in VR, we need to make this all work. We need to support the developers that we have now and show them that we're willing to spend our dollars on their games so we can get Rockstar and we can get, Capcom, the big companies out there making AAA games like GTA 5 and Resident Evil. If you want to play them in VR, we have to let them know by supporting the smaller developers that we're willing to put our dollar out there. If they're willing to put the product out there, we're willing to put our money out there. Yeah, Beerbo, this, we could have done a conference chat, but there should be a way in in Facebook Live for me to pull somebody in from the chat. Like I should be able to pull any one of you in from the chat. There should be a live button that you could hit that will basically send me a request that you would like to go live with me. And that button was there last time. It's just not there now. So Nick Quinn says we got a promo coming up for Black Hole Pool on August 11th. This Thursday, we definitely do. One of the things I was going to talk about. Black Hole Pool is it's basically what it is. It's a pool game. So if you want to shoot pool in VR, this is one of the only ways you're going to do it. And these guys have been working hard on this game. Me and Nick Quinn, or myself and Nick Quinn, were in this game very early on, and we had some feedback for the developers, and they took everything to heart, and they've made some great changes. And when this game gets ready to be promoted next week, it's going to be amazing. If you want to shoot pool in VR, which it's cool. I mean, you're going to want to shoot. If you like shooting pool, I mean, shooting pool in VR and the physics that it has is going to be amazing. I need to try and catch up with chat here, guys. I'm pretty far behind. Dickel says, I'm looking forward to the new zombie shooter after the fall. Who isn't? Who isn't? So, they delayed the game. So you're a little disappointed that it was delayed. But here's what here's like what me and other people should say or do always say. I'd rather wait on the game than wait on a patch. And what I mean by that is I would rather them delay a game before launch than launch a shitty game and then have to patch it 10 times before it gets good, because that just kills a game. So I'd rather wait the month. Wait the month. Don't give me the game yet. Wait 2 months. Wait 3 months. Wait whatever time you need to make your game great, and then launch it. Don't launch a subpar game that's crap and then try and patch it out within the next, month or 2 months or whatever to try and make the game better. I'm so excited for that game. Probably one of my most anticipated games. I love multiplayer. I love playing with other people in VR. So anytime I can get in there with 4 people, count me in. Count me in. Yeah, Nick Quinn says Larcenauts. Larcenauts was exactly like that. I was in the beta testing for Larcenauts with a lot of other content creators. And we all said to them, you have issues. It's a good game, but you have issues that are not good, and you shouldn't launch it the way it is. And we told them exactly what those issues were, which was the sprint. The sprint was broken. The two-handed weapons were broken. When you run, they drop your weapons and you can't see them. And the turn movement when you're sprinting was too slow. And I was in there with Gamertag and a whole bunch of other content creators, and we were all saying the same thing. And they still launched the game, and immediately they got killed in the reviews, and rightly so. I mean, I still liked the game. I enjoyed the game, but they had problems. It wasn't completely broken. It was fun. But if they had waited another month, because basically they fixed it already. It's already fixed. The game is perfect now. It's the way it should be. But the problem is the damage has been done, right? They already screwed it up. They already got bad ratings. People have a bad taste in their mouth. So now they're kind of screwed. So, if they waited another month, because That's all it took. It's only been out for a couple of months. If they waited a month and a half, they could have fixed all these issues that we had already told them about, and then they would have launched probably to, much better numbers. But, you know, but again, I'm disappointed that After the Fall was delayed until after the fall. But we have plenty of games to play right now, so it's not like we got nothing to play, which we're going to talk about that in a little bit too. Clay Ernst, man, thanks for coming by. How you doing? There's another name I have not seen before. It's good to see a lot of new people in here, man. That's awesome. Clay said, I'm new to VR, and I have been playing it and buying more for it than my Xbox. Absolutely. I mean, VR is not flat gaming, and that is for sure. And anything that you can do in flat gaming, you can do 10 times better in VR, right? You take a horror game in VR, you take a mediocre game, flat console game, a horror game. It's okay. It's not that scary. It's okay. You take that same exact game and you port it to VR and you make it VR. That game is 10 times scarier just because you are now in that environment. So anything you do in VR, it's just better, right? Shaw says Marvel Power United not coming back for good. Yeah, unfortunately, Marvel Powers United is shut down. So, yeah, that was a try from them early on in the Rift days, and they just couldn't support the servers any longer, and nobody was playing it, so it shut down. So basically, they did give some people their money back who had bought the game in the last 6 months before they shut it down. But yeah, gone, unfortunately. But I guarantee you'll see another Marvel game soon. It'll be better. Nick says we're going to talk Madrid Noir later. Yes, we are. There's an experience out there that we're going to be talking about next week called Madrid Noir, and we are going to talk about it here in a little bit as soon as I get through some of this. Yeah, Beerbo says that he hears Clay. He doesn't buy games anymore without considering if he can play it in VR. Yeah, I mean, there's not many flat games I play anymore. I do have a PlayStation 5 that I was lucky enough to get. It took me forever, but just recently. And there's a game called Returnal on there that I'm in love with. Nick Quinn knows this. I cannot get off of that game. That's the only game out there that'll pull me out of VR. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything else I'd rather play in VR. Now, if they made that game in VR, I probably would never leave VR. Hey, Chris Banger, how you doing, buddy? Long time no see, man. I haven't seen you in forever. Chris is an awesome content creator, guys. He's probably one of the most entertaining content creators I've ever seen. He's when you go watch his content, I mean, number one, he's a great player in like Pop 1 because he streams a lot of Pop 1. But two, he interacts with his audience so well, and he's so funny, and he's got a banger voice and can sing anything you want to hear. He's just a really good dude, and he was a moderator with us for a little while until he got a little bit. I knew he got a little bit busy, but really good guy. Thanks for coming by, Chris, man. I appreciate it. And guys, go to Facebook, or I'm sorry, yeah, go to YouTube. And actually, is it YouTube, Chris, or is it Facebook Gaming? But go follow him, and you'll see when he goes live. He's probably one of the better Pop 1 players out there. He's probably one of the better all-around shooter players out there that you'll find for like, like he used to play a game called Standout, a PC VR game. That was, it was like, oh, Chris, what am I thinking? It was a Battle Royale is what I'm thinking. It's a Battle Royale just like Pop 1, but it was a single player Battle Royale, but you could team up with randoms. But yeah, he played that a lot. I played that one a lot with him when we first started, but he fell in love with Pop 1 as I did, and he's pretty awesome. Yeah, Big Chris 007, and your Facebook, Chris, Facebook Gaming, and are you YouTube still too, or is it just Facebook Gaming? Yeah, so I think he's just Facebook Gaming, guys. But yeah, go follow him, Big Chris 007. Hey, Arnuki Russell's here. Arnuki, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. So Beerbo says he's got a $1,500 PC, an Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo games, but these days I'd rather play VR and burn calories while having fun. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, bro. Anytime you can burn calories and be in VR and have a great time doing it. Absolutely. So, so yeah, let's talk Madrid Noir. Madrid Noir is a cinematic experience, and I'm not sure if you guys know much about cinematic experiences in VR because they're fairly new. There's a few good ones out there, but they're fairly new. Um, this uh, this this experience actually won a Cannes Film Fest award um, for for a cinematic experience in VR. And basically, what it is um, it's an experience that you're going to watch, but you're actually going to interact with it as well. So you're not just sitting there watching the whole thing. It lasts for about 45 minutes. Um, so you're in the world, and you're being told a story by a person that you're basically standing next to, and it's interactive. So you can touch certain things, you can do certain things. Um, you have to move yourself around the environment to see different scenes. The artwork in this game is amazing. The way things pop up, set wise, in and out, the sound, because you're going to have at one point, I don't want to ruin it, but at one point you get a flashlight in the game. And basically, you have to take the flashlight in a dark scene and you have to move it around to find your next scene. So basically, to pull yourself along in the story, you have to almost 360 turn to find the next scene and where you need to go. Um, it's an amazing game. I think if I'm thinking correctly, it's $8.99 on the Oculus store. It's it's so well done. There's another game out there, another game. There's another cinematic experience called Wolves in the Walls. That's been out a couple of years. Another amazing cinematic experience. Probably the best that I've ever seen. And this one's right up there. I would put them, 1, 2. Um, and there's a cool little ending. Really pulls at your heartstrings a little bit. Maybe not as much as Wolves in the Wall. Wolves in the Walls is really it's an emotional experience, and done super well. But yeah, I'll have a review out of that next week for Madrid Noir, and keep an eye out for it. So Darren says going to have to get some sleep. 1 a.m. here. All good night. Good to see a face to the name. Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you. Thank you for coming by, Darren. I appreciate it. Beerbo, this is amazing. Beerbo Valdez says he lost 80 pounds playing VR over the last 6 months, hiking in the mountains. Dude, that is an amazing story. That is awesome. Congratulations. Good for you, bro. Way to go. Everybody go give click on Beerbo's post right there and give him a thumbs up. The 14 people that are in here. Go give him a thumbs up because that's amazing. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You know what you should do? I'm not sure if you're comfortable with it or not, but I'd love to see you make a post in the group about your story and how you did it. And it would help it could help other people in the group. And that I love seeing that stuff in the group, man. He also says he beat cancer last year and using VR as physical therapy. Dude, good for you, man. That's amazing. Awesome. Good to hear. Chris said, "Congrats on the 100K." Thank you, man. Thank you. It's been a crazy ride, right? Since September of last year. So let's talk about what else we got going on. So we got we have coming up next week. We are going to have a preview on August 12th for Pistol Whip, the new DLC Smoke and Thunder. Excuse me. So yeah, the new DLC Smoke and Thunder comes out on the 12th, which I think that's a Thursday, right, guys? Am I correct on that? I'll take a look at my calendar here. It is. So next Thursday, Smoke and Thunder. Pistol Whip is an amazing game. I love this game, and they keep making it better with free DLC. So they just did not long ago the 2089 DLC for free, and now they're launching the Smoke and Thunder for free DLC. Now, here's the catch to this. If you don't own the game, it's going up in price after the 12th. So you need to buy the game before the 12th. So right now, the game is $24.99. If you buy it on the 13th, so if you wait and you buy it on Friday, you're going to pay $30. If you own it before then, you get it for $24.99. Or if you own it before then, you get it for free. The DLC you get for free. If you buy it before then, you get it for $24.99. So if you don't own it, go get it. Go get it now and save yourself the $5. And trust me, it's worth it. I don't have a problem with them doing this. I think this is great. If you already own the game, they're giving you the DLC for free. They're saying, hey, to all the people that supported us from the beginning, here, this is for free. After that, there's so much content that they've already given now. I don't have a problem with it being $30 because it's worth $30 all day long. I mean, Beat Saber's $30, never goes on sale. This game, to me, is as good as Beat Saber or better. Now, I'm under embargo with the DLC for Smoke and Thunder. An embargo basically is an agreement that you make with the developer that you're allowed to see the game beforehand, but you can't talk about any specifics, and you can't show video. So I will be dropping video, but as soon as the embargo ends on the Thursday. So look out for my video if you want to get a quick peek at some of the early footage. And then we can talk a little bit about it right now, and I can tell you that it's amazing. Myself and Nick Quinn were able to get in early and play it, and I beat the story last night, and I can tell you that it's amazing. If you've played 2089, it rivals that. It's either as good or better, and I fell in love with it right away. So like I said, I can't talk about specifics, but it's amazing, and you're going to love it. If you don't have Pistol Whip, go get Pistol Whip. And Beerbo, I don't know if you've played it, but you want a workout game. This is a workout game. I mean, you're ducking, you're dodging, you're moving, you're squatting down. I mean, you have to turn and move. I mean, I was quickly worked up a sweat in this game. I had to take my headset off and wipe all the sweat out of the inside of the headset. That's how much I was going. Chris asked if it's cross-buy. It is. It is 100% cross-buy. So if you own it on the Rift Store, you get it on the Oculus Quest Store. If you own it on the Oculus Quest Store, you get it on the Rift Store. Beerbo says he's played every song many times. If you lost 80 pounds in VR, I guarantee you have. So yeah, I know Benny was in here earlier. I don't know Benny Lee. I don't know if he's still in here now, but so Benny Lee makes pistol grips, the gun stop pistol grips. This is what Benny Lee makes. There we go. He makes gun stock pistol grips for the controllers. He makes the Snow Fox. And these are a weighted pistol grip. You put quarters in here. These are lined. You see the quarters in there? They're lined in there. I put quarters in there to weight this down. It'll hold $3 worth of quarters. And Justin Kelly says these Snow Fox pistol grips look amazing. They do look amazing, and they feel amazing. And let me tell you, this adds 100%. All the people out there in this group that say these don't make a difference, you can't see them when you're in VR. It doesn't matter whether you can see them. It's what you feel. You know, we do VR for immersion, and these are immersion. The feel and the weight of these are crazy. They are insane. I won't ever play Pistol Whip without these again, or any game where I can hold a pistol. I love these. I mean, just take a look at the quality. I mean, amazing. The grips on them, the grips feel so good in your hand, and they're like molded perfectly. Love these things. But I didn't even tell Benny yet because So yeah, Benny, I was going to tell you today when we talked, and I forgot all about it, that I played Pistol Whip last night, and I used your grips. And again, I can't tell you specifically about the game. I can tell you that the experience with the Snow Fox was amazing. Amazing. Love it, man. Love this thing. So yeah, guys, go get the Snow Fox. Go talk to Benny. Benny, drop your link in the chat, man, for anybody that's in here. But if you guys want to take a look at the Snow Fox, um, he's got a couple of different versions. He's got the Pro Slide, which is what I just showed you. And then he's got another one. So go take a look. Nick says they're 100% worth it because he knows he did it. They are 100% worth it. They just feel so good. I don't care what they look like. You know what I mean? People are like, "Oh, you can't see them. What do you care?" It's not about what you can see, right? I mean, I don't. It's about what you feel. And I feel like I'm holding. And when I'm holding just the controller, I don't feel like I'm holding the gun. When I hold this, I feel like I'm holding a gun, and the weight makes it so much worth it. I mean, they were great before, but now that he's weighted them, it's a whole new ball game. It really is. He's also got different adaptive triggers with them, so you get like a hair trigger to where you can if the less you have to push down on the trigger, it'll fire before you actually have to push all the way down. So it makes you fire faster. Cool stuff. Very cool stuff. So yeah, Benny dropped his link, guys. Go take a look. Hello Real is the company. Benny Lee. Beerbo, you're a Synth Rider fan. I am a huge Synth Rider fan. And so is Nick, and so is a couple of moderators. We'll team up and we'll get in there and play some multiplayer Synth Riders. That's so much fun, right? Arnuki says they look fantastic. They do. Arnuki, they're amazing. Benny does a great job with his printing, his 3D printing. So Benny asked, or I'm sorry, Arnuki asked up in the chat a little bit higher. He asked what my take was on the Valve Steam Deck playing VR. I personally don't think it would play nice VR. I think the Steam Deck has a place. Before I get into it, let me just say Arnuki created a group for the Steam Deck Facebook group. So go take a look at that and join his Facebook group if you want any information about the Steam Deck and you're interested in it. But if you want to do any mobile gaming and you don't want to play just basic games, but if you have a Steam library and you want to play mobile, not mobile, but if you want to play your Steam games away from your computer, this is the way to do it. Now, do I think it'll do VR? I think it's capable of doing VR. Do I think it'll do good VR? I don't think so. Not right now. Not right now. It's going to have the processor power, but there's two things holding it back. Number one, where's the battery going to go? And how are you going to power this? So, unless you're going to have it plugged in somewhere, and I don't know how you're going to do that. We know how much battery these things take as it is. Can you imagine having a small handheld unit trying to run VR? And then heat. What kind of heat is that thing going to put out trying to run VR? And then processing power. You know what I mean? I think, again, it's going to be capable, but what's the experience going to be like? You know what I mean? Is it going to be choppy? People get sick in VR as it is already. Can you imagine what the frame rate's going to be on that? So I think there's things they can do. And from what I've been hearing the last couple of days, they have interest in it. They want to make something work. But what that will turn into, I don't know. It's definitely interesting. It's definitely something that we should all keep track of. I'm in Arnuki's group, and I'm probably not going to buy one right away, but I would get one eventually. And that's why I'm in the group. And anytime there's even a hint or a sniff of VR, I got to be in that. So that's why I'm in the group. And it's a cool place to be and talk about the Steam Deck. So Chris asked, do I think they'll use the processor in the Steam Deck and build a VR headset out of it, or a mobile one? I'm thinking they're going to try and use the Quest too. That would be the most likely scenario. I don't think they want to make their own unit. I think they would probably try and use an existing unit out there, and the most likely candidate would be a wireless, right? That would make the most sense. So, and I think Guy Godin from Virtual Desktop has already talked about how he could make it work. So it makes the most sense to do it with the Quest 2. Again, what will the experience be? That's the question. I just don't right now. I don't think the experience would be that great. And here's the deal: do you want a ton of people out there experiencing that for their first VR? I mean, we have so many issues with getting people into VR as it is, and adopting VR. I don't want their first experience to be a choppy, vomit-inducing experience with the Steam Deck. Trying to use it for something it's not. So, I mean, it's going to be amazing. They're going to figure something out. It's going to be an amazing device for what it is. Let's not make it what it isn't. Arnuki says, "Thanks for the shout out. I'd love to see the Steam Deck grow more." Yeah, I agree. And yeah, Arnuki's saying it'll manage games close to a GTX 1050. So yeah, PC games, not to run VR games though. It'll manage PC games close to a 1050, but it wouldn't. I don't think you would be able to run VR games close to a 1050. So the difference between trying to run the same card on a laptop as the same card on a desktop PC. It's different, right? It might be the same. You might have the same exact card number wise, but they're smaller in a laptop and they don't work as well. Justin Kelly said he ordered one for my wife. We have a gaming PC, but she wants to be able to play her Steam games in the bedroom like a Switch. Absolutely. And that's what it's for, and that's probably why I'll end up getting it. I have a huge Steam library. I try and catch every sale on Humble Bundle I can. And I have a problem, guys. I have a problem with buying too many games. And I hope my wife's not watching, but I definitely have a problem. So I'm a game collector, and if I could play my games when I'm not here at my desktop, hey, count me in, man. Diane says she's upset she bought the 64 and now they're doing away with them. I know. It's a bit of a bummer, but Diane, it really had to happen. They knew they were getting to the point where these games are going to get too big. And here's the deal: the 64 is still great. There's nothing wrong with it. You're never going to get the game that big where it's going to take up one game would take up your whole 64. So you're going to still be able to play every game. You're just going to have to move them in and out. That's all. And if you got decent Wi-Fi, it's not hard to move games in and out, right? I mean, you can go pretty quick. It's people like Nick Quinn who have 140 games in their Quest library that have issues. And he's got issues anyway. The biggest one being that I can't get him on the freaking Facebook Live. Man, I can't believe we did this. Anyway, let's talk about one more thing before we get into my top 5, and I want to hear your guys' top 5 too. We're going to talk about my top 5 favorite Quest games, and then we're going to talk. I want to hear about your top 5s, and we'll hear about Nick Quinn's top 5s. But let me talk about what we're doing right now with this little chat. So I'm going to be doing this little chat probably during the week most of the time. I'm going to pick a day, and I'm going to try and stick to it. So you'll see me at the same time every week, every day, or not every day, but the same day every week, every time. And we're going to be doing some developer interviews. We've had some great relationship with developers of some great games, and they have already agreed to come on and do some interviews with us. So it'd be my first time interviewing somebody, and Nick Quinn himself as well, and any of the other mods that want to come on. So it'll be fun. It'll be a learning experience, but it'll be fun. It'll be informative. It'll be fun. You'll get an inside look at some of the cool stuff that we're able to do in the group. So just to give you an idea who we got coming, Carbon Studios, the Wizards Dark Time developer. They are also coming out with a game, a Warhammer game, Warhammer Age of Sigmar Tempest Fall, coming out soon. And Julian Bialowski, developer for that, he's going to be coming on with us. Don't know exactly when yet. We're going to get a schedule together for that, but he's going to be coming on. I mean, can you imagine wanting to pick this guy's brain? I mean, Warhammer is amazing. I cannot wait. And then Wizards, Wizards Dark Times is an amazing game that we just did a giveaway for, and everybody needs to go play that game. Justin Kelly says, can't wait for the new Warhammer game. I can't either. I played Battle Sister. Me and Nick played Battle Sister, and I love that story. The gunplay is awesome in that. This is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be as much gunplay. The Age of Sigmar faction of Warhammer is a little more like magic based than either melee or weapons based. But I mean, who better to do a game about magic than the guys that did Wizards Dark Times, right? I mean, they have the right people. So no, Benny, I don't know if you're still here, but Shah asks if you can ship to Malaysia or Asia with your products. And so if you could chat with him. Yeah, Arnuki says standalone gaming is winning over PC. So many devs saying the Quest has taken so much more of the game market. It really has. And that's something me and Nick Quinn talked about, and we'll talk about in a little bit, which is try and pick your top 5. Think about your top 5 right now. You think you can pick it easy. You're like, yeah, I can pick my top 5. Think about your top 5, and you can only pick 5. And then think about all the games that are out there. Okay? There are so many games, great games on the Quest that it's almost impossible. I had to really rack my brain, and I want to change my answer probably like 10 times already. So yeah, Arnuki, you're right. They are taking over the market, and that's why Oculus is backing standalone and not PC VR, and that's why Echo or Lone Echo 2 is probably going to be for a while anyway, it's going to be the last PC VR game you see from Oculus Studios. So, unfortunately on one end, but we are going to get some amazing games on the Quest 2. Coming up. I mean, we have Resident Evil 4 coming up on the Quest 2. We have After the Fall coming up on the Quest 2. I mean, this is an exciting time. And I guarantee you there's going to be games coming this fall that we don't even know about yet. Because they do this stuff all the time where they don't actually announce it or talk about it, and then bam, it's dropped, and you're like, holy crap, where did that game come from? So yeah, talking about more of the developer interviews. So yeah, we're gonna have Carbon Studios. Nick says they do have a competition going on right now in the group. So if you go to in the group and look under Nick, can you put a link in the chat to that post? If you go into that post, you can actually win a game. The game hasn't even been released yet, but you can win a key for when the game comes out and releases. You'll get a key, and we're giving away. Nick, just refresh my memory of how many keys we're giving away for that. But just follow the steps in the post and get yourself in there to win a key, because that game is going to be amazing, and be one of the first ones to be able to play it because you will have a key early. And Diane Jackson says, no way, Resident Evil? Yes, way, Resident Evil 4. Yes, the entire game in VR, made for VR. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the stuff that's coming, and if this game does good, why not port everything? Port everything. If you can port Resident Evil, port everything. There's going to be an influx of games, maybe even older games, okay? There might be games that are a little bit older, but they're still amazing games, right? How many games can you think of that you played in the past 15 to 20 years that were amazing experiences that could be made even better if you had it in VR, right? Nick Quinn says three keys can be won on that Warhammer Age of Sigmar Tempest Fall giveaway. So get in there and do that one. The link is right above. So yeah, that's a really good one. So we're also going to have the dev of the Eternal Starlight, the real-time strategy game, space strategy game, Eternal Starlight, just hit on the Quest like a month ago or a little over a month ago. David Wallen, he's going to be joining us on here to talk about Eternal Starlight. If you like real-time strategy, space real-time strategy, this game is amazing. This is a permadeath game, so you have to basically beat the whole game in one sitting to get through it. And it's not easy, but it's addictive and it's super challenging, and you'll want to be going back for more. Nick Quinn was stuck on this game for weeks. That's all he wanted to play, and we can't usually do that. Usually we can't get stuck on a game because we have so many games to play. We have responsibilities to play these games, to review them, so we need to move on to the next one, unfortunately. And Nick's like, no, I'm not moving on. I'm playing this game. I'm gonna beat this game, and he did twice. So yeah, we're gonna have Darren Wallen on. Yeah, link below. Yeah, Diana Jackson says, I'm definitely buying that. I assume Resident Evil, and Justin Kelly said the same. Yeah, who's not buying Resident Evil 4 in VR? I mean, everybody's going to buy that. So we're also going to have on from Arvor Entertainment, makers of Pixel Ripped, both Pixel Ripped, the 1989 and 1990 something, right? 90 something Pixel Ripped. So both Pixel Ripped, Yuki, the developers of Yuki, Anna Ribeiro. Anna Ribeiro is a huge name in the gaming industry. She's probably one of the most respected developers out there. She is into the retro gaming. She's been a gamer for a long time, and that's why her games are set the way they are. And I'm so excited to have her on. I'm so excited and I'm so nervous. That's the one I'm so nervous to do, because she's amazing. Really. I just can't wait to do this interview. Yeah, coming up soon. Yep, coming up soon. We're gonna do it. It's gonna be a fun thing that we're gonna try and do every week. And then the final thing, guys, is we're giving away 100 keys. We want to say thank you to getting to 100,000 members. So we are starting the third week of August. We're giving away 100 keys. 100 keys. Insane, right? When I do a giveaway and I get 5 keys, I'm like, wow, thank you for 5 keys. That's a lot. 5 keys is amazing, right? We have 100 keys. It's going to be daunting. We're going to run it for a month, right? And we've got some amazing games. We've got, Nick, can you type the list for me? Because I'm probably going to forget again. We've got Synth Riders. We've got Pistol Whip. We've got Eternal Starlight, like we just talked about. We've got what else do we got, Nick? We have Walkabout Mini Golf. We have Dash Dash World, the racing game Dash Dash World. We have that. We have Contractors, the shooter game Contractors. We have keys that we're giving away. We have keys for Swarm. Amazing game. If you have not played Swarm, go get this game or wait till we give it away. But Swarm is I love Swarm. Love it. Arcaxer, another great game. Arcaxer is a game you're really not going to know about. You're going to want to play. It's a retro kind of gaming, but it's amazing. We have keys for it. In Death Unchained, the archery game, amazing game. We have keys. Guardians, the base. It's like a base game where you have to protect a base from aliens coming in. We have that game. Guardians. Township Tale, the one that just came out, Township Tale, we have keys to give away. So many more. I think there's a list of 30 plus developers, 30 plus developers and games that we have to give away. And they're all top notch. Painting VR. Painting VR is another game that just came out. If you have any artistic ability, or you don't, you just want to do cool things in VR with paint, this is an amazing game. You can create art in VR with this. It's basically Tilt Brush, but I think a little bit better because of the way the mechanics work. So we have keys for Paint VR. 2MD Football. Warplanes, which is just about to come out of App Lab and go into the actual Quest store. We have it. We have keys. We have keys for Real VR Fishing. Great game. We have keys for Real VR Fishing. We've got keys for Top Golf by ProPutt, or Top Golf with ProPutt. We have keys for that. Yeah, we have over 40 different games to give away. 40 different games, 100 keys. So Justin Kelly asks a great question. If you happen to win one of the keys that you already own, can you exchange it for another key? So this is how it's going to work. We have a list. We have our list of how many keys we have to give plus how many games we have. So the first person that we pick out of the people that are in the contest will get their first pick of 100 keys. So they can have any game they want out of 100 keys. If they, so they'll pick what they want. So as we get down, and then 2 will get the second pick out of 99 games, and 3 will get the third pick out of 98 games, and so on and so forth till we get down to the end of the list. Number 100 will have one key to choose from, right? Because that's all that's left. We got a stockpile. So the developers have been very kind to give us enough keys that we have to work with, so somebody doesn't get stuck with something they already have or they might not want. So in that case, when we get down to that and we only have a few of the different keys left, if it's a repeat, we've got other keys that we can work out with you. So yes, pretty much everybody will have a choice, a pretty decent choice of what they want. But again, unfortunately, the first winner is, just like anything else. When you're number one, you get the top pick. So yeah, but that's a great question. And we do have a few Steam keys in there too. Yeah, not a lot. We'll have like 4 or 5 Steam keys in there, maybe a few more. But yeah, there's some great games. So if you happen to have PC VR and you want it on Steam and you want this game, we have them available. But if you don't have Steam, don't worry. We have plenty of Quest games. 99% of the games that we have to give away are Quest. So guys, let's talk top 5, right? I've been droning on for an hour and 6 minutes, and I want to get to what I want to get to the stuff that I want to play, and the stuff that you want to play, and the stuff that Nick wants to play. So let's talk about top 5. I'm going to give you my number 5. Actually, first, let me do this. Let me give you my honorable mentions. These are games that did not make my top 5 that I would just like to say that I love playing, and I had to end up moving them in and out of my top 5 to make room. Dash Dash World, honorable mention. Love this game. Can't get enough of it. The multiplayer is so cool. The tracks, there's so many tracks. It's awesome. Crashland. Crashland is a game that came out from an indie developer. One guy made this game. It's basically it's a shooter. It's like a wave shooter, but it's unlike any other wave shooter I've ever seen. The difficulty is so high, and you get to keep upgrading your weapons as you go. So you get different perks as you level up, and every time you go back in, you're going to die a lot, and you go back in and you reshoot and you redo things, and it's just an amazing game. I love it. The environments are so cool. It reminds me of Farpoint, if there's any PSVR fans out there. Really, the enemies and the terrain remind me of Farpoint. Yuki. Yuki is an honorable mention for me. Yuki is a game that just came out last couple of weeks ago. It's a bullet hell roguelike game where you're controlling an action figure with your hand, moving it around and shooting enemies through obstacles. Again, another roguelite, so basically you die a lot, and when you die, you get to increase your stats and increase your abilities as you get better and better and better. An amazing game. I love it. I can't stop playing it. And if I'm jumping into my quest, I'm going to play that real quick. Let's see. Lies Beneath. Anybody a horror fan out there? Lies Beneath is I had it in my top 5 3 different times, and I ended up pulling it out, but I put it back in, and I would pull it out and I put it back in. I love this game. Absolutely love this game. The art style, it's like a comic book, so it's like it looks like a comic book, and the inside looks like a comic book. But don't let that fool you. It looks beautiful inside there. The game performs so well. There's so many different little cool tricks that they do with the aiming mechanics. You get you get a whole bunch of different weapons. You get melee weapons. You get guns. The story is super creepy. If you're a horror fan, Lies Beneath is a must-own on the Quest. It's one of the most scariest games on the Quest you'll find. But it's done so well. Not over-the-top scary either. Not like crazy. And then the other one that didn't make my top 5 honorable mention would be Phantom Covert Ops. If you guys have ever played Metal Gear, this is Metal Gear, but you're in a kayak. And I know it sounds crazy, right? You're like, I'm in a kayak? Yeah, you're in a kayak, and you stay in a kayak for the whole game. but you're moving around these canals and these waterways inside this base, and you have to move from cover to cover. And just like in Metal Gear, if you're spotted, you're gonna die. You need to stealth. You need either avoid enemies or avoid being spotted, or you need to stealthily kill them. And you need to activate certain things to be able to move through the environment. And it's just a super cool game with a great story. And Metal Gear fans, David Hayter, the voice of Solid Snake, is the voice of the bad guy in this game. He's like a Russian, general or something like that. And David Hayter does the voice acting for it. So it's a complete like geek out for me, seeing this guy that, I was a huge Metal Gear fan. Seeing this guy in this game, having his voice in this game was amazing. Benny says, "What? Yeah, David Hayter. Yeah, he is the bad guy in Phantom Covert Ops. That alone would want me to play this game. But forget about that. This is the best stealth shooter that you'll find on the Quest right now. It's better than Aspire 1. It's better than Budget Cuts. Any stealth shooter you can think of, this is better. The visuals are amazing. The mechanics of you using the canoe with the kayak and the water effects, amazing. Nick Quinn says you have a night vision, a rifle, and a pistol in Phantom Ops. Yeah, and you're going to use every one of them to get through the environments. Dude, Benny's like, I got to get Covert Ops. I need to hear Big Boss. You do. Dude, it's so cool. He's got a Russian accent, but it's so cool. And I saw a video or an interview that he did about doing the game, and the dude, he's a VR fan, man. He's a VR geek, and he loves it. Yeah, the Phantom Covert Ops is extremely polished. Go play it. Guys, it almost made my top 5. It was so close. Again, I pulled it out probably twice and put it back in. All right, so let's get to my top 5. Let's get past the games that I don't want in my top 5. Let's put the games that are in my top 5. In my top 5, and this is going to be crazy, and it only made my top 5 because of the DLC I just played that I can't talk about. Yeah, you guessed it. Pistol Whip. Pistol Whip is now in my top 5 of all-time favorite Quest games. Guys, this game was very close to being in my top 5 before the downloadable content. Now, I almost had it higher than my top than 5. This game, the music that they have in this new DLC is amazing. I love it. Can't get enough of it. Being in the Old West and shooting guns is amazing. And Benny, you need to make a revolver. Make an old-time revolver. I was just thinking about that. That would be super cool. I'm like, yeah, snap that up, Benny, right away. Make one tomorrow, right? But come on, how cool would that be? But yeah, Pistol Whip is amazing, guys. If you want to work out in VR, but you want to have fun doing it, all their tracks are amazing. Yeah, and here's a great testimonial. Nick Quinn was not a huge fan of Pistol Whip before, until he played the new Smoke and Thunder, and now he's a huge fan. And he hasn't even played the 2089 DLC. Oh, Benny says I am. I played the beta too. I got ideas. Oh, so Benny, you were in there. You know, right? You know what I'm talking about now. See, Benny's good. He knows. He's like, I'm Eric. I already got this going on. But yeah, Nick Quinn hasn't even played the 2089 DLC, which made the game 100 times better. The campaigns make the game for me. I mean, I love the music and the single player music ones, but the campaigns are amazing. I love watching it. I love playing it. So Pistol Whip came out November of 2019 by Cloudhead Games. You can buy it right now in the store for $24.99, but only until Thursday. Buy it for $24.99 until Thursday. After Thursday, it's $30. So if you don't have it, go get it now. Yeah, Benny says, "Oh yeah, the style. Yeah, the style, the art, I mean, everything about that game. It just oozes coolness." And I'm playing after we get done here with this. My number 4, guys. My number 4, In Death. Oh, I'm sorry, I almost forgot Nick Quinn. Nick, we're going to do Nick Quinn's first. Nick Quinn's number 5 is Warplanes. I did not think this would be in the top 5, but he did fall in love with this game. Warplanes is a very cool game. Again, just coming out of App Lab and going into the regular App Store. So or into the regular Quest Store. So Warplanes is amazing. If you want to do World War II dogfighting, where you can physically drop bombs out of your plane onto like Zeppelins and blimps and other planes, it's really cool. And as multiplayer, it's your best flying plane in the Quest 2 for VR. Yeah, it has so many missions. I mean, you'll be able to play this game for hours just in the campaign, and then you got the multiplayer, so you can go in with buddies and play. I mean, how great is that? Okay, so my number 4, my number 4 is In Death Unchained. In Death has been a game that was out on the Rift for a few years before the Quest even came out, but it was a different game. And what happened was when they ported that over to the Quest, they didn't just make a straight port from the PC. They made a completely different game almost. In Death Unchained is nowhere near what In Death was. In Death was like a demo, like a tech demo almost. In Death Unchained is a full-fledged game. And it's very rare that the Quest version dwarfs the PC version, and this is one of them. This game is so good. The atmosphere is so creepy. The archery is just so intuitive and feels so good. There's so many modes that you have now to play through with the campaign mode, and then they have like a mode where you're just trying to kill as many waves, like a wave shooter, as many waves as you can. And they do competitions all the time where you can actually go in like a 3-day period and try and win stuff if you score a certain amount. So another game that's great. In Death Unchained, super bright, came out in July of 2020, but they update this game constantly. And we have game keys to give away for our 100 key giveaway. $29.99 if you want to buy it right now. Nick, what's your number 4, brother? Nick, you there, man? All right, so Nick's number 4 is Eternal Starlight. So we talked about it a little while ago, right? What games we had to give away. Eternal Starlight is a space RTS game where you're in control of a fleet of ships, and you have missions that you have to do before a huge armada of aliens comes to kill you. So basically, what you're trying to do is you're trying to build up your fleet of ships. You have, I think they give you like what 3 days, Nick, to where you don't have to do battle with these aliens. You have 3 days to do these missions, to build up your fleet to where you're able to take on this armada of aliens that comes in to try and destroy you. And it's amazing. You get to physically, you can physically touch and grab each ship that's in your fleet and move them to certain spots. You can tell them things to do. You can you'll have different ships to buy and different sizes. Nick says 6 or 7 days. I'm sorry, I said 3 days. Yeah, it's 6 or 7 days you have to basically prepare yourself. But you have different armaments that you can put on the ships. I mean, there's so much into this. If you like RTS at all, real-time strategy, this game has it, and the controls are so intuitive. The way you move yourself around, you can actually be on an individual ship, or you can be on your main, your main admiral ship, and you're viewing a big table, and you're able to move the ships around from that point, and they'll follow your commands. I wish Nick was on with us to be able to talk about it more because he absolutely loved this game. I did play it, but I did not play it to its conclusion, and he did twice. But good choice, Nick, for your number 4. My number 3. My number 3 is a game that just came out. Is Sniper Elite VR. I completely fell in love with this game when I tried it. I've played it on a couple of different platforms. I played it on the PSVR, PlayStation VR. I played it on the Rift store version for the PC, and I've played it on the Quest version. And I jump back to the Quest version every time because it's so easy. And killing people in VR with the X-ray mode that Sniper Elite gives you, where you shoot the bullet, you shoot the rifle, and you follow the bullet to the target, and you get to see the bullet X-ray vision hit to whatever part of the body it hits, and you get to see like an X-ray of what organ it hits. So if you're hitting the head, you're seeing it go through, and it gets graphic, but it's amazing. And it's not just a simple shooter either, where you're sniping from a position. You have to move through environments stealthily. You have to shoot when there's noise being made, so you don't produce an alarm to where you're attacked by huge amounts of people. The set pieces, the art style, are amazing. Everything looks so good on the Quest. The gun mechanics are great. All around great game. This is a AAA game. If you want a AAA game in VR, this is a AAA game. Sniper Elite VR. Now it has some issues. That's some small issues with mechanics a little bit, but they're fixing them quick. And there's so many campaigns and so many missions and so many stories. And there's a scoring system as well. So you can do a mission and you get scored on what type of hit you get, whether you get a headshot or, if you miss, you lose. Once you miss a shot, you lose like a multiplier that you had gained by making shots in a row. So, and there's leaderboards. So, you can go in there and try and beat your scores or beat your friend's scores or, so the replay value with this is amazing, and absolutely love this game. Nick's number 3 is Demeo. Demeo is an amazing game. And it's going to lead into my number 2, because my number 2 is Demeo. So we'll do them both together, Nick. It's funny that you did this and I did this too. That goes to show you, sorry guys, that goes to show you how good Demeo is. Nick's got it as his number 3. I got it as my number 2. Demeo is a tabletop game where you're going into, you have characters that you move around in a dungeon, and you're basically, you're moving squares like a board game, but you have your characters actually move, and when you attack somebody, you see the mechanics of them moving, and you see how they're doing things. The visuals of this are amazing. The way the dungeons are laid out is amazing. You have 4 different characters that you can use. You have a hunter character, which uses a bow. You have a wizard. You have a knight or a warrior that is like your tank. You're a strong person that has armor. And then you have an assassin, which is like a sneak who can go stealth. And when they go stealth, none of the enemies can see them on the board. There's so much strategy with this game. And if you play it with 3 other people, because you can play it with up to 4 people, you're constantly talking back and forth. I mean, it's such a game where you have to work together, because if you don't, you're overwhelmed by enemies. And there's the enemy varieties are amazing. They did this game so well. And if you like board games, or if you're into Dungeons and Dragons or anything like that, this game is you'll play it for hours on end. They just released new content. They released a new book. So basically, the first book, was what the game just came out with, and then the new book, which gives you new dungeons and new enemies, is called Realm of the Rat King. Thanks, Nick. Realm of the Rat King, and it's gives you a whole nother dungeon to go through. So basically, what you start in one dungeon, and once you clear that one, you move to the next one. You clear that dungeon, and then you move to the final dungeon where you have your boss, where you have to defeat them to get through it. And that's the same thing with the new book too. You have 3 dungeons to clear. You get to the Rat King. You have to kill the Rat King to make it out. And really amazing. Love this game. I can't say enough about it. I'm still playing it. There's some people over in the Discord that I hang out, which is Virtual Strangers, that constantly play this game. They're always in there. Friend of mine, Radio Runt from Virtual Strangers Discord, he is in there constantly. Myself and Nick have jumped in quite a bit to play, and it's something I'm still playing now, and I can't wait. And they're going to come out with more content. They're going to have more books. You know what I mean? This isn't it. So, you're going to end up having a ton of content with this game. So Nick's number 2, since our number 3 and our number 2 are the same. So Nick's number 2 is Walkabout Mini Golf. You cannot go wrong with this pick, 100%. I'll tell you this: I do not have it in my top 5, but it was very close to making my honorable mention list. I can tell you that. I love this game. If you want mini golf, this is the game to get. There are other mini golf games out there, but this is the one to get. A ton of different courses to play. You have a hidden ball mechanic where every hole has a hidden ball. If you find that ball, you get to keep that ball and you can use it. And then it has also, if you get every ball in an 18-hole course, it opens up a new putter for you to use. It's not just mini golf. There's so many things with it. They have a mode where you can actually zoom up into the air and you can see the whole golf course like you're a god up in the air, and it's just so cool. The visuals are amazing. The course design is amazing. It feels like putting. Everything works perfectly. And they do have new maps yet to come, absolutely. So yeah, so Walkabout Mini Golf, and the multiplayer is the best part of this. So if you want to play, who doesn't love mini golf, and who doesn't love mini golf with family or friends? I mean, if you have a relative that's across the country or in a different country, and they have VR and you have VR, go into Walkabout Mini Golf and play together because it's super good. I mean, the talking to each other is super easy. Hooking up to play together is super easy. There's no jank involved. You're in and you're playing and you're good, and it's a blast. It really is. So my number 1, guys, I know we're starting to get a little old here, so I want to get through this, but number 1 for me is Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners. This game is probably a lot of people's number 1. It's an easy game to give number 1 to. When they came out with this game in January of 2020 for a PC, I was awed. I could not believe what they made, and they made a masterpiece. And I said, no way they'll ever be able to bring this game to the Quest. And like 2 weeks later, they're like, hey, we're bringing the game to the Quest. And I'm like, what? I'm like, how is that even possible that you could bring this game? At the time, it was released before Half-Life Alyx. So at the time, it was the best looking game I had ever seen in VR. And the physics were so good. It was all, it was all real physics. So your hand does not move through an object. You're not grabbing a table and putting your hand directly through it. You're not grabbing a glass and putting your hand directly through it. You can interact with every object in the game. This is Boneworks in the Walking Dead universe. This was unheard of stuff. The gameplay in this, the story, the gunplay, the melee, all the weapons are done perfect. You can't ask for a better game. They could not have made a better game. There's no way. Yeah, and Half-Life Alyx is so good. And when everybody says, they're like, oh, Half-Life Alyx is the best game ever made for VR. And it probably is. But let me ask you a question. Does Half-Life Alyx run on the Quest 2? Could Half-Life Alyx run on the Quest 2? Probably not. So in October of 2020, Skydance Interactive took this game that was amazing, that I've never seen anything as good as this before, and they took it and they put it on a mobile VR headset. And I don't know if you've played it yet, but it's so freaking good. These guys at Skydance are wizards. I don't know how they ported this game and got 95% of the PC VR game into this game. Now there are some assets that aren't there. Okay, so maybe there's a door missing, or maybe there's a drawer missing out of a dresser, or maybe there's one less car on the street. But the visuals look almost the same. You know what I mean? You may have less assets, but everything else looks so good. This is a must own. You have to have this game. and show this game to somebody who doesn't play VR, and you'll get them into VR if they can get by some of the sickness that you might get with it. But yeah, this is Skydance Studios, and Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, I think, is $29.99 on the Quest store. Go get it. So the last one, Nick Quinn, his number one game, and I love this game as well. Is Until You Fall. Until You Fall is a melee game where you another roguelite. So another rinse, die, repeat game, right? You're gonna die a lot. You have to die to move forward because you have to level your character up high enough to get through the levels. And it's basically, again, the same thing with a roguelite. You have to beat the game in one sitting. So you need to go from the start to the finish all in one session. Okay? But, along the way, as you die, you're going to be leveling your character up. You're going to be getting better attributes of your character, but you're going to be getting better shields. You're going to be getting better weapons. You're going to be getting different weapons. You're going to be getting different magic. And you're going to be stronger. So every time that you die and you go back in, you're stronger. And you're going to get further and further and further. And it is daunting. It's a tough game, but I love it. The sword play is so good. Probably some of the best melee you'll find. When you're swinging a sword, there is weight to the sword. You'll feel it. You pretty much two-hand it, so you can have like an axe in one hand and a sword in the other. The graphics are astoundingly good. They are a little bit better on the PC VR, but it's so good on the Quest. I mean, because it's like the colors are like a pastel-y kind of colors, but I mean everything looks so good. Yeah, Benny, that's a great point. Benny says, Until You Fall reminds me of a great mobile game from a while back called Infinity Blade. 100%. That's exactly what it looks like is Infinity Blade. But it's so good. I mean, the combat is great. And you get to block into guys. You have a dash feature where you can dash close to them, and then you can strike them, and you have to block. So they're gonna strike back at you, and you can't just flail your arms and hit these guys, okay? Because they're gonna be trying to hit you back, and you have to block with both your weapons. And you're gonna see like a split second before they do it, you're gonna see where they're gonna be. It'll show you on the screen they're gonna do this slash, but it's like a split second, so it's not a lot of time to get your sword or your axe where you need it to be to block it. And then you have to wait till they're done, and then you have to attack. So yeah, super hard, super great, addictive, makes you want to go back all the time. Hey, Ribs is here. Hey, Ribs, how you doing, man? It's good to see you, brother. Thanks for coming by and saying hi. We are just doing our top 5 all-time games. So yeah, I mean that's it. That's So Riv says that's crazy. You just started to talk about a game. You're talking about a game I just started today. What game? Which game did you just start today, Rivs? That we just talked about. Which one? Guys, give me some of your top 5s. I'm not saying you got to give me everyone, but give me a couple of games that you guys think we can just talk real quick before we finish up. I know somebody probably put some in the chat I didn't see because I got wrapped up in thinking about what I was talking about, so I kind of went fast. But Ribs is talking about Until You Fall. So yeah, he just started that today, dude. I envy you. I envy you to be able to just be starting that game for the first time, to experience it again for the first time. You know what I mean? That's a sign of a great game. When you're like, oh man, I wish I could just experience that again for the first time. Think about like when you went into Half-Life Alyx for the first time ever, right? And you're like, oh my god, that feeling you got when you did that. I mean, to experience that feeling again, that's why we all do. That's why we all like, let's buy that next great game, right? We want that feeling. We want that experience of like, holy crap, this is awesome. Justin Kelly says his top 5 in no particular order are Pistol Whip, Thank you. I'm with you on that one. Demio, he's got a lot of R's in there. He's got Pistol Whip, Demio, In Death, Walkabout, and Phasmophobia. Phasmophobia is a game that I've actually never played. I own it through Viveport Infinity. Viveport Infinity gave it away for free, actually, if you had a subscription to Viveport Infinity, and they actually gave you the copy to keep forever. So I actually have the game, just never played it. So, Justin Kelly, let's go. Let's play, man. Let's hook up. We'll get Nick Quinn in there and get some people in there and play. Yeah. I'm just going to scroll back up so I can see some of the other answers. Yeah, a lot of people talking about Saints and Sinners and how good it is. It really is. I mean, that's why I said I was kind of comparing with Half-Life Alyx. You know, if you were trying to think about what was the game of the year last year, hard, right? You had, or hard, or maybe not hard if you think about it. Everybody was like, "Oh, Half-Life Alyx, game of the year." You know, if you got to slow down and think about it, Half-Life Alyx was an amazing game, but I don't think the story was as good as Saints and Sinners. And you know, I like the gunplay. I think, well, maybe not the gunplay. I like the melee better. There's no melee in to speak of really in Half-Life Alyx. And again, I have to give them credit for porting this game to PSVR also. So not just Quest, but they took that game and they put it on every platform. So you can play Saints and Sinners on PlayStation. You can play it on the Quest. You can play it on the Rift. You can play it on Steam. You can play it on every platform. Currently right now, you're playing Half-Life Alyx on Steam only. And I don't think you could get it to work on anything else. Nick Quinn has Shadow PC, and he's got good internet, and he's having a tough time getting it to play well in Shadow. So yeah. I mean, again, I still think it is probably Half-Life Alyx, the game of the year last year, and probably the all-time best game. But it's a lot closer than people think. Yeah, Justin Kelly says it's hard to beat those top five. It is. I mean, it goes to show you. And again, this is one thing I talked about earlier in the game, or earlier in the stream. How lucky we are to have all these great games to play, right? Because I'm trying to make my list for the top five, and I'm like, okay, I want that. I love that game, and I'm like, okay, I love that game. And I'm writing them all down because I got to start eliminating some. So I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna put the ones I really love down on paper, and then I'll work my way back and I'll start eliminating. Well, before I knew it, I had 28 games on my list, and I'm like, I got to get to five. How the hell am I going to get to five? Think about how many great games there are. Zombieland. We didn't even talk. I mean, we didn't even talk about Robo Recall. Robo Recall is a great game. You know what I mean? It deserves a spot in somebody's top five. That game's amazing. Didn't make my top five. Didn't make Nick's top five. How about Vader Immortal? Vader Immortal. The first time the Vader walks into that room, all the dojo experiences. That's an amazing game. Didn't make our top fives. Either anybody's that I've seen so far. Nobody said Vader Immortal. I mean, think of all the great games out there that we have to play. So it drives me crazy when I see somebody in the group say, I'm bringing my Quest back. There's no good games to play. You don't get VR then. Then you don't. If you think that there are no good games to play on the Quest, you don't get VR, and maybe you should return it. I think a lot of times people put these posts in the group to rile people up. Because if you think that there are no good games to play, VR is not for you. And that's okay. VR is not for everybody. There's a lot of people that buy headsets out there because they think it's going to be great. And they put it on, and they're just not wowed. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for everybody. Just like console gaming doesn't work for everybody. There are a lot of people out there that love VR that have never played a console game. There are 70-year-olds, 80-year-olds in our group that I guarantee have never touched a console game. They love VR. And it's the same way. VR is not for everybody. So I understand. But don't say there's no good games to play, because that's just not true. You can say VR is not for me, but don't say there's no good games to play. I mean, what about, yeah, Nick just said it. What about Population 1? We didn't even talk about Pop 1. Probably the best multiplayer game out there. What about Contractors? We didn't talk about Contractors. We didn't talk about Espire 1. We didn't talk about any of the great puzzling games. What about Fisherman's Tale? What about A Room? What about Red Matter? I'm just naming some games off the top of my head. There are some games out there. What about Myst? I mean, who played Myst back in the 90s, in the early 90s? Now you can play it in VR. I mean, that's crazy. Nobody said anything about Myst. There's so many good games out there. I mean, yeah, Nick Quinn just said it right there. Lone Echo. Yeah, Lone Echo is a PC VR game, Betty. So you really can't say Lone Echo, but yeah, because I trust me, if it was PC VR also, I would have been here for 10 days trying to figure out what my top 5 is. But Nick Quinn just said Beat Saber. Not one of us mentioned Beat Saber. Wasn't even in my top 10. And I like Beat Saber. I'm not the biggest rhythm fan. There's a lot more people out there that love Beat Saber than I do. But I respect that game, and it deserves to be in somebody's top 5. If somebody said Beat Saber is my number 1 game of all time, I'm not going to argue with that. The game's amazing. You know what I mean? And now if somebody said Richie's Plank Experience is my number 1 game of all time, then I'm gonna be like, yeah, no, you're a little crazy. But Beat Saber, hell yeah. I mean, Synth Riders. Synth Riders is another great game. I love that game. Didn't make anybody's top 5. Yeah, Nick said A Wizard's Dark Time. Great, another great game. There's just so many games to play. We're so lucky right now. We really are. And it's going to get better. It's going to get better. We talked about it earlier. Resident Evil. Lone Echo 2. What else we got coming? After the Fall. Eventually it'll be here. Warhammer. Age of Sigmar. Tempest Fall. They're bringing all these Warhammer games in. Why do you think they're bringing these Warhammer games in? Warhammer is a huge, huge IP. Why are they bringing Warhammer in? Because there's VR money to be made. That's why. VR is becoming mainstream, so it's time for to bring these big IPs in. Trust me, if they didn't think they could make money on it, there's no way they're bringing Warhammer in here to fail. So, yeah, Nick said Wanderer. Wanderer is another great one too. Absolutely. Well, guys, we've been going for like an hour and 45 minutes. And I only really wanted to go for about an hour. My main goal with this was to figure out how to do multiple people in here, so I could have Nick Quinn in here with me and we could talk together. Which, as you can see, did not work, and we have some work to do. I have some work to do. We'll figure it out. So hopefully for next week, we'll have Nick in here, and I'm gonna still consider this a success because I love talking to you guys, and I'm glad everybody came and talked to me. But for the goals that we wanted to do, it kind of failed a little bit. But let's do it next week. Anybody wants to come and hang out with me? Well, we're going to do it. I haven't picked a day yet. We're either going to do Tuesdays or Wednesdays. This week will be the day that I pick. So I'll pick it. It's going to be Tuesday or Wednesday. It'll probably be like 8 or 9, somewhere around there. And then once we pick that day and once we pick that time, it's going to be the same every week. And thanks, Chris, man. I appreciate it. Maybe you want to come on with us, Chris. Maybe we can get you to come on and talk about your content that you do. I'd love to have you on, brother. You're an awesome guy, and you have a lot to talk about, and you're probably one of the most entertaining guys I've followed. So maybe we can have you come on with us one night and talk some VR. Justin, you're welcome. So just said thanks for the live chat. You're welcome, man. And so yeah, we'll be here. We'll be back next week, and we'll do this again. We'll have a new topic to talk about, and we're gonna do it every week. As long as you guys want to show up and hang out, and listen to me talk, and listen to Nick talk, and listen to developers. We'll come here and talk because I like doing it and I want to hear from everybody. So, Chris says, heck yeah, definitely. I'll be in touch, man. We'll talk. We'll get something scheduled up and we'll get you on. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to that. All right, guys. Ribs, see you next week. Guys, thank you, everybody, so much. We'll see you next week. Be good.